I think I'm live. Hello, hello, Zen friends. Happy weekend to you. Can you believe it's Friday already? Zoom, zoom. I know some of you probably your week goes a little slower, but it's my weekend, so it flies by. So good to see everybody. Hope you're doing well. And before we get started into everything, let us bring in some wonderful, wonderful energy through our singing bowl here. And as I'm bringing that energy in, just allow it to fill up your heart, fill up your body, your mind, your thinking, your emotions, your energy, your physical body, your physical world, and flow out to the world after it fills us up. And as we're doing this, if you want to take some deep breaths and think of at least one thing that you're grateful for in this moment, that helps raise our love vibration, puts us in the perfect energy to receive messages from spirit and other things too into our lives. So I'll hit the singing bowl 3 times. We'll start here. So a big deep breath. Let's begin. Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much for joining me and doing that. Such wonderful energy. All right. So let's put her over on her little throne over here and we'll get into everything. Hello, everybody. Hello, hello. Good to see everyone. Hope you're doing well. If you're new to my channel or new to these readings, welcome, welcome. We've got a great group of Zen friends here, full of laughter and love, which are two great things to have in this journey as humans. So, welcome. Uh, how the free readings work, real quick, is there's no special list. The chat is it. All you do is put your question out there in the chat, or if you don't know what you want to ask, or you don't want to, put your personal business out there, you can ask for a general reading, and because Spirit knows all, we'll pull 1 to 2 cards for the free readings, and then see what Spirit has to say. If anyone makes a donation, I do love. So I do honor that. I just saw love this shirt. I know it's a little my little gnomes. I love this, so thank you. But I do honor the donations as an energy exchange. So I do prioritize those. Step out of the free readings, dive deeper into them, meaning I pull more cards for those. And then once I'm done, I return back to the chat readings. And you can use the little super chat at the bottom, the little $sign. Also, in the description box of the video, I do have my Venmo, my Cash App, my PayPal, and my Square. So whichever you want to use is up to you. And I don't have a set dollar amount. Whatever you're able to give from your heart is the perfect amount. I know everyone's cost of living and income varies, from day to day, from person to person, from, you know, house to house, even. So whatever you give is the perfect amount. After donations, my YouTube channel members do get second priority over the free readings for over the donations for their free readings. I'm, the Mercury retrograde's gone. I'm having trouble talking tonight, but maybe I'm just high on spirit. But my YouTube channel members get the second priority. You'll see their names usually in green with a little uh, badge next to their names. We have one in here right now, which is Infinity. Hey, Infinity, good to see you. So they get second priority, and then I move on to the free readings. Yeah, I don't think I have anything to say besides that. So I always make sure to complete donations and my YouTube channel members in each day. So sometimes I don't get to all the free readings. I've been doing them a lot and coming back on for a lot of the free readings, but I'm needing to balance a little more. So I may not always get to all the free readings in each session, but I will make sure to complete donations, my YouTube channel members. And on Sundays, on that session, I always come back on to finish out all those. I'm also on Saturday mornings and Saturday night. Saturday morning session has been going 4, 5, 6 hours. So we're gonna try to balance that a little more, but I do try to get to as many free readings as I can as well, because I know not everyone's able to always donate. What else? What else? What else? If you're interested in becoming a YouTube channel member, I do have 2 levels. Zen Cricket is $2.99. Praying Mantis is $7.99. There's a link down in the description box that talks all about those. And also I offer personal readings. There's the link down in the description box for those. Um, and of course, tomorrow we have a wonderful Libra full moon. So if you haven't checked out this video yet, then this will tell you some information on how we can balance that energy. And then, of course, every Friday we have a new Zen Byte. So here is this morning's Zen Byte that came out. So, and I also have a ton of other free content. There's all the playlists are listed down in the description box of the video. And if you go to my main page at the very top, it says new for 2025. And so there's like 5 or 6 playlists because we have 5 or 6 things that we do, uh, including the full moon and the new moon and when the sun changes signs. And we've got the Zen Gate. Every month we have like 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, a portal. We've got a monthly quest video too. And then also the weekly Zen Bytes. And I think that's it for the monthly ones. We also have quarterly, the Solstice and Equinox readings. There's also a link for that in the description box. Of course, the 2025 energy forecast for each individual zodiac sign too. So a lot of free content that's out there. So if you want to check it, it says all in there. Say, hey everybody, hello, hello, good to see everyone. All right. So I'm going to be using this beautiful deck, the Tarot of Dreams, tonight. So if you like it and you want to, what the box looks like, if you want to procure it wherever you procure your tarot decks or cards, I have tons. Starting to slow on purchasing and start using them all and rotate through them all. All right. So we'll get started, everybody. All right. So where we're at here, we will start with Infinity and then we'll jump over to Maria P. Via Z PayPal. And then we have Love is the most powerful force in the universe. Hello, hello. And then Brenda Tejada. And then we will jump over to Yadi. I see your CashApp donation. And then to Nelia. Shout out to another of my YouTube channel members. Hey, Nelia. All right. So let us get in here. Let me copy my little thingy here. Actually, I think I was just going to do it this way. So we'll start off with Infinity here. Let me just grab the timestamp. I'm going to try to throw timestamps in the chat still. All right. So Infinity, that is your timestamp, and we'll start off there. So thank you for your donation. Let's give that a love and a like there. And you wanted a general reading. Yeah, perfect, Yadi. I do have your Cash App. Perfect. All right. So what do you want Infinity to know right now, please? Okay. all the ones they want right now. Right, the bottom of the deck, you do have the Ace of Coins, the Ace of Pentacles. Beautiful, beautiful greens in there. So this is about new opportunities opening up for you here, but it's based on also looking at your worth in relationship to the outside world in a different way. Underneath that, you do have the Death card, which is the death and rebirth card. You also have the Hanged Man too. Both of those are transformational type of cards that come in, and it's about looking at things from a different perspective. And I like that because this is all about you're really gaining a lot of beautiful clarity through the things happening in your life, that your definition of you isn't based on those things of the outside world, like relationships and situations and things. It's rooted on the inside. So I feel like there's been a lot of things pointing you inward and upward to find the only stable thing in this realm, right? Which is that eternal, unconditional love of the higher realms. The more we connect with the higher realms, the more we remember who we really are, that we're so much more than these human characters, right? We're the actor behind the characters, these powerful, supernatural, eternal spirit beings made of unconditional love. So that's the bottom of the deck, just this energy of empowerment. And it's kind of what's bubbling below the surface right now. It's all this pointing you to your self worth and raising it up. Your first card out is the Eight of Swords. And this Eight of Swords is this energy of becoming aware of your thoughts and your beliefs and your mindsets that no longer serve you. Those mindsets that would have told you that you're, limited and small and powerless, and that your definition does, um, you know, depend on the outside things of the outside world. But those things are so unstable and ever changing. That's why when we define ourselves by them, we're always feeling unstable and ever changing, right? But when we are able to connect to that capital T truth, that's what helps remove these small t truths that are rooted in fear, right? Fear of not being enough, fear of rejection, fear of death, even. It's all these fears that we're taught growing up, right? Those small t truths. Also, the card right after it is the Five of Cups, which is a transformative card for emotion. It starts off feeling that low vibration sorrow and emotions rooted in fear. Like I said, sorrow, resentment, anger, all that delicious, you know, lower vibrational emotions that we come here to experience, right? But so there's no right or wrong choices when we're looking at our mindsets and beliefs or our emotions, which what both of these are about. There's just different choices with different experiences, and we're taught to focus on lower vibration growing up. But eventually, we kind of get tired of that, sick and tired of feeling sick and tired, feeling all those. And what's wonderful is the Five of Cups normally has like someone focused on the three spilt cups, and behind them are the two cups, the power of emotional choice. Once we realize that I always have another choice, it frees us from feeling trapped. Like I always have to feel this way. No, any moment I can choose joy or gratitude, unconditional love, higher vibrational emotions, but I get to choose if I want to feel differently. And there's no right or wrong, again, but it's like when I'm tired of feeling one way, there's always a second option, higher vibration or another lower vibrational emotion. But to know that we're not trapped in it is empowering in itself. Then you have the Five of Swords. So you have the Eight of Swords, then you have these two fives, Five of Swords, Five of Cups. So both of these are conflicting energies that are in the middle of transformation. And that makes sense with what we're talking about, because how do we grow? How do we learn? How do we start looking at our self-worth differently? Oh, it's growing pains. It's challenging. We learn through suffering, right? When I'm feeling a certain way, if that felt good, feeling sad, we'd all want to feel sad all the time. But sad seas doesn't feel, it's heavy. It's lower vibration. It's like really heavy gravity, but we're able to switch that around when we're ready. And that's what helps us grow. These conflicting odd number fives mean that there's things brought to our face like, oh, I never thought about the five. It's like a hand being brought to our face. We can't see beyond it. And it's important that we face these things so that we can move to the next level. And then eventually we grow stagnant and bored there. And then we want more conflict brought to our face so we can release that so we can go to another level. It's like a hot air balloon with a bunch of sandbags on it, keeping it down. The more the sandbags that we clip, the higher we go. And that's what happens with all these, conflicting things that are coming up for you is it's a lot giving you the opportunity to clip them so that you can rise higher. And then you got these 3 cards. I feel like this is kind of where you're what you've been dealing with before. This is what kind of where you're at now and where you're heading into. And then 1 card is just a kind of a forecast of where you're headed. So you got the 3 of coins. Yeah, you're being more true to your authentic self with the 3 of coins. You're not so concerned about people pleasing people or upsetting people, like not afraid of losing support. You're really been on this journey of being more true to who you are instead of trying to be who you think everyone else wants you to be. Because everyone wants you to be someone different. They all have this idea, just like we have ideas of who everyone else should be. When we release ourselves from all that, we also release everyone else from that, from us, right? Yeah, the Page of Swords. You've been gifted the Ace of Swords, and the Page of Swords is clarity, a lot of clarity, seeing things from a lot of different perspectives, letting go of a lot of beliefs and seeing things differently. It's like you're seeing things, uh, the behind the scenes. Like you see a movie, and then you see the behind the scenes, how things really worked. This is the behind the scenes that you've been experiencing. You're really starting to understand intuitively and starting to see things like why do certain people do certain things or did certain things. And it's this clarity that's coming in that it's so much of what everyone did or didn't do, said or didn't say wasn't about you. That was them expressing who they are. And then you're realizing, of course, everything that you saw in them was for you, right? Yeah, the Empress. Here's this beautiful Mother Nature, Mother Nurture birthing and creativity and this expression that's coming in here for you. So, this is where you're at. You really are looking and returning to you and focusing on you. I love this energy. Then, yeah, the Page of Wands is where you're headed. I love it. So, new upgrade, new downloads energetically, and a new passion too. I feel like you're getting this a lot of clarity, a lot of deciding who you want to be and what you want to be and where you want to invest your energy and reevaluating where you have been investing your energy. But it's definitely um, where all the work you've been doing is bringing in this transformation energetically, which can be both spiritual energy, but also just the that passion of life kind of energy that's coming into. So I love that for you. And then we're going to be using these Art of Manifestation Oracle for the fortune cookies. All donations get a fortune cookie with their reading. It's like a little dessert. So you got, yep, take your time. There's no rush with all this, too. Card number 56 says, slow down. If you're feeling under pressure, whether in response to a situation or the demands of another person, or from pressure that you're placing on yourself, this card asks you to slow down and take time to evaluate before reaching a conclusion, making a decision, or committing yourself. I like this because this transformation that you have been going through, you're learning to put yourself and your heart first, right? And so sometimes we have reactionary things where something comes up and we go back to the old ways of, well, this is what everyone else would want, or this is what's best for everyone else. But then we sacrifice ourselves over and over again. This is about woo, 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 before you make a decision. Step back, take a deep breath, close your eyes, open your heart, and go, what do I want? And without all those expectations. So I love that energy for you, Infinity. So that's what they have for you. So many blessings. Yeah, no calories in these fortune cookies. You're so funny. All right. So that is what we have for you, Infinity. So many blessings to you. All right. And then up next, we do have Maria P. You are up. 2020 is your um, reading here. Let me pop that in here. There we go. So let me pull up your email here. Thank you so much for the PayPal donation. All right. So let's take a look here. Just a little shuffle. Take a little sip of my coffee. Drink it while it's hot. You know what I mean? All right. So, what are Walter's thoughts and feelings? Okay. I do want that one. I want that one. This one. This one. Okay. That one too. All right. And then what were his thoughts of your quick high on Wednesday and date on Thursday? Okay. Actually, I feel like this one was for that Wednesday. That one's for Thursday. And this one is what's happening on the dark side. That's always funny. Hear Darth Vader. So, what's coming towards you at work after all this drama, right? Let's take a look here. All right. So let's start off here. Walter's thoughts and feelings. So we'll start here. Yeah, we've got this little Aries Emperor energy that's afoot here. And the Knight of Swords. Yeah. So Knight of Swords, swords is communication, movement of thought and belief and mindset. The Emperor also is that energy of what do I want, making plans. So I feel like their mind, their thoughts are really racing, not really racing as much as calculating and computing. I feel like they're wanting to see and kind of gain clarity for themselves on what do they want to do next? What's the next step between the two of you? What do they want to do? So I just feel like their mind is thinking a little forward thinking, which before they were so much about being in the moment, be here now, be here now. But I feel like they're also being drawn to take another step. So we'll see what that's about here. Emotionally, yeah, we got the Knight of Coins. So there is all this action energy, and then we have the slowest moving knight out of them all emotionally. So they still want to, continue to take things slowly, not like leap, way, way in the future. Just what's the very next, we'll call it the next baby step, not the huge step, but what's the next baby step, right? And emotionally, yeah, again, we got this Libra full moon tomorrow, and here's all this Libra justice energy. So they are balancing everything. They are trying to figure things out, what they're wanting. Um, so it feels like their emotions are really like in slow motion, but their mind is trying to think of things. So that big thinker that they are, uh, is kicking in, but it's positive things. It's not, trying to plan an escape plan or anything like that. This is about what do I want next? What step, do I want to take next? What next baby step, right? So I like that. What were his thoughts of your quick high on Wednesday? Yeah, Queen of Coins. They just like that. That's this mother nature, mother nurture energy. And even with a quick high, you're so nurturing and that just comes through just in a quick hello even. I like that because there's like you're just so giving, so nurturing, and it's like this aura that you carry, just a big that big nurturing energy. So I feel like the Wednesday high was like, oh, it just made him feel you always have this way of making him feel special. And I feel like even in a quick high, you did that. Your date on Thursday, yep, Mother Nature, Mother Nurture. So same energy, almost as the Queen of Coins, Queen of Pentacles. It is that Mother Nature, Mother Nurture energy, but it's like on steroids. So that carrying energy definitely coming through. Wow. And the moon energy, Mother Luna, all this emotion that comes through here. And the Five of Swords. Yep, this conflict between their head and their heart, which, is always there. They are this big thinker. But all this emotion, they definitely loved that, just how you are so giving, so caring, with all that. But it does, you know, their head battles their heart because their heart is like, woohoo! They do want to, the heart wants to go, you know how it is. The heart wants to go, 5 years in advance. Let's go to that. And I want to go, 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 go. The heart wants to run rapid, but the mind's like, woo, it's the one with the leash. It's the one with the little child harness, how the kids wear the little leashes with um, the harness on there, and that's what's kind of going on there. So definitely, they enjoy all that emotion and all the flow and just this nurturing energy that you have. What's happening on the dark side? Ooh, okay, let's take a look here. Four of coins. Isn't that funny how we always get the Four of Pentacles, the home, the house, the house, the house. It's always about the house. And the King of Coins and the money. It's about the money and the possessions and the security. It's always about the security. And that's because that's what his future ex-wife, right? That's what she focuses on, is wanting to have that security, because that's just how she was raised. It's the finances, the money, that's where she gets her sense of security. So that's what it's all about over there. Boom, 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 boom. The home, the house, money, money, possessions. That's security, right? So that's what's going on over there. The same old pressure about, how am I going to maintain things? Where's I need a home? I need this security. That's what it's all about, right? And then what's coming towards you with work after all the drama? We got the Three of Cups. We like that. That's joy and celebration. You have the Page of Swords, so a lot of clarity. Page of Swords can also be like additional training, um, maybe a new opportunity that's coming up in job too, because the Page of Swords is new communication, but it's the mind, and it's about stepping your mind to a different place too. And the Hanged Man, there is this transformational energy with the Hanged Man. It's like the caterpillar becoming the butterfly. So I do feel like, and we talked about this, I think, last week, right? About transformation and going to a new job or a new position. It's like this hasn't, I know, I feel like you've just went over there like recently this year, but you just kind of more like, this really isn't bringing in a whole lot of satisfaction for you anyway. You were kind of like, it's good, but it's not like, it's like existing instead of something that you really get excited about. Yeah, so you have the Six of Swords. This is below the deck here, below these other three cards. So the Six of Swords is letting old ways of thinking go, look at higher ways of thinking, but it's a movement card. Again, transformational type of card. Yeah, Nine of Pentacles. Here you are. Um, Maybe even working from home if that's an opportunity. The Nine of Pentacles is like a hermit kind of energy. It is also very much like an abundance card. So I feel like you might be able to find a job or a position somewhere that offers more. It's more challenging, which is what you really need. But it's also better pay here, wherever you're headed off to. Yeah, and you have the Two of Wands. I feel like you have two opportunities that are coming up with job. I feel like one is a new position within the company, and the other is like a different position with a total new company. So I like that for you. Everything happens on purpose for us. So when drama hits, especially in our work environment, but even in relationships and anything in the outside world, it's all sometimes comes in to bring clarity and awareness to show us what we really want. Sometimes we're like feeling good in a kind of a comfort zone, and that we won't go somewhere else as long as it's comfortable. And if it becomes uncomfortable, then we'll leave. And sometimes that happens in our life for us, always for us. Um, but that is what can happen. So let's take a look here at your fortune cookie. See what else we got here. All right. You've got mistakes. Card number 34. The little Buddha says, if you feel you have made a mistake, or indeed someone else has done so with impact on you, drama. Please do not feel bad about this. Treasure and value the mistakes and those of others, or value your what you perceive as your mistakes and those of others around you. They are the cutting edge of our personal growth and evolution. Lean into the learning and celebrate your openness to grow. That's so perfect. It's exactly what we were talking about, right? All right, so that's what they have for you, Maria. Oh, yeah, sorry, I wasn't paying attention here. Hello, hello. Days of our lives. Let me take a look here. Yeah, it looks good. You surprise them with coffee and a cookie. Oh, see, there's that nurturing. Two plants. Oh, I love that. Promotion, woohoo! Right? Yep. Some little haters. Yep, I love that. You are very welcome. And we'll circle back around for your uh uh free reading once we do that. Hey Lucky. Hey Moonlight. Shout out to other of my YouTube channel members. Good to see you. All right. So thank you again for your donation. And let me pop a couple in here. So we've got love is the most powerful force in the universe. All right. So we'll just put at 32 there. So love, thank you for that donation. And let's give that a love and a like. And your question is down here. So describe more about your incarnation in the Sirius star system. What density dimension were you, fourth, fifth, or higher? Were you human or non-human? Height, skin color, eye color, lifespan, length, hair. That's a lot of information for you there in a Starseed Collective. We'll take a look here and we'll see what they will bring forth for sure. It's always fun to kind of look at other incarnations that we have to, especially when we're looking at those type, because they're so amazing and higher vibrational that it helps us realize how this lifetime isn't as it's like we don't sweat the small stuff, right, as much as the others. So I like that. All right, let's take a look here. Let's scooch these over. Make some more space. All right. So, bottom of the deck, I love this just to start off because the Knight of Swords is the pursuit of higher knowledge and higher wisdom, and that's how we do it by looking into our past lives, our current other incarnations. Really, it's all happening kind of at the same time anyway, but we won't get into all that. That'll give us a headache, right? But I love this. So, up first here, what density or dimension? Let's take a look here. These two cards came out. Yeah, I like this. So, Four of Wands is where it started. So, it was fourth dimension in the beginning and it moved up to the eighth dimension. And what I mean by that is, so you were on an actual physical planet in the Sirius star system. And what happened, so the civilization that you were in had gone from 3D into 4D. They were getting ready to go into the fifth dimension collective kind of energy, which is where they ended up being the Syrian collective, right? But the planets, when it went kind of supernova, it consumed the planets that were, within its orbit because it got so big. It just energetically took all the planets into it. But before you guys had done that, before the planet happened, everyone was so in tune with their higher selves and energetically that people started to switch and change from these these you know uh, human-ish kind of forms into higher vibration. And so they were more energetic, higher vibration beings. So it wasn't like you were destroyed by fire. The planet transformed and the energy transformed and everyone joined together in an energetic higher vibrational place of a collective, right? So hopefully that makes sense. But it ends up where they're at. You're in the eighth dimension now as that um, expression of your soul, but it started off in the fourth dimension. So I like that. And then, were you human or non-human? Yes. I like that. So we asked that Palace of Cups. Yeah, this place of emotional energy that was created here. So and we kind of just mentioned that, right? So you were a humanoid type of an entity, but then when your collective um, went into fifth dimension, when the planet got munched up and taken, of course, then that's when you guys have been developing and going to higher and higher vibration. Because part of what has developed you as a starseed collective is when you went into that fifth dimensional collective, you helped other planets in Sirius A and Sirius B move to a higher vibration. And then as you guys went into like sixth dimension and seventh dimension, you helped other star systems, including Earth, and helping out there. And then it's just the more you help the universe and the more that you've um, joined with other collectives and joined at a higher level, that's what's raised the vibration. And it's amazing because, I mean, we do exist at so many different vibrations. Our soul has a million or more expressions of itself that is experiencing in multiple universes, multiple dimensions, multiple frequencies, right? And so it does have all this, but specifically with your Syrian star seed essence, I guess is a good word. This Palace of Cups represents that energy because it's a place to express yourself safely emotionally and all that emotional energy that's there. So I love that. Um, let's see if they'll tell you more about how your humanoid looked here. Let me see what these other energies are here. Yeah. So very much I like this. This is the Hierophant. This is the spiritual teacher kind of energy. Did we get this for you before? I feel like you know this, that you were a spiritual teacher on your planet and that you did help evolve from the fourth you know uh, fourth, what am I trying to say, density, not dimension, but kind of because like we've moved from third dimension and density into fourth on our planet. Here, even though there's a lot of expression of the third, there's a lot of people moving into the fourth, and eventually we'll all on planet Earth move into the fifth density, um, or well, like have a choice to either move up into that or go to a different planet to continue to experience third density. But for this one, going back to your Syrian, you were a teacher with that. So I like that. Maybe bald. I'm just kidding. The Three of Wands does tell me here that you were not the normal type of humanoid on your planet. I feel like with this Aries sun energy, you were like a lot of the first of your kind that um, began to, it was kind of like an evolution that happened on the planet. Um, and with this wands and all this fire energy I'm seeing here, I feel like you were I feel like a fire elemental who um, chose to appear in form, like in physical form, to be able to be a teacher and to be able to step forward here. which is kind of what starseed a lot of starseed souls do. Like people like here, you have chosen to also appear in human form to help at this energetic level as well as still remain your starseed collective self to give guidance from that higher vibration too. And this is kind of what you did on this planet, um, coming in there. So I do feel like um, the Syrian Starseed Collective, you've been kind of like on a mission from the very beginning with them. Um, Being a fire elemental, I feel like you were at a higher vibration already, and so you chose to come into this human form. But I almost feel like because I'm feeling like an evolutional kind of thing where it was like you're an animal and a human, humanoid-ish type of evolutionary being that was there. And that's why I just feel it was very unique here. Let's see if we can have more here. Yeah, Page of Coins, Page of Pentacles. So it was a new opportunity. It was to be in the physical realm, so that makes sense. And the Two of Coins too. The combination of two things together. So I do feel like um, they were doing some, I wouldn't say scientific experiments, but they were doing some evolutionary DNA tampering among the humanoids and the animals and different things. And they created this combination. I almost feel, I don't know if it was like a feline human combination, if that resonates, but I feel like you were among the first. But because they were creating this, there was an opportunity for a soul to come into this being to bring life to it, and you were among the first to do that. Um, there within that specific planet, with that um, there, yeah, because I'm definitely seeing like feline features, um, not like paws. I feel like you still had, like humanoid but fur, um, and the face and eyes of like a feline, but very humanoid feline looking, if that makes sense. Right. So I'm seeing that. Let's see what else we have here. Yeah, in the Page of Wands. So this you brought this energetic downloads and upgrades to the planet because you were this they recognized immediately that you were of a higher knowledge and higher awareness, higher connection. Yeah. In the world. You were this is that um ending of a cycle, the beginning of a new adventure, a new era that you helped bring in. And it had a lot to do, with that the spiritual beliefs, um, and allowing them people to connect higher to their spiritual selves and connect higher to the spiritual realm. And I feel like you also were kind of the not the bringers of destruction, but the kind of like the prophets, um, announcing and letting them know that this is what was going to be coming with the star, and that it was important for you guys to elevate to be able to, instead of be consumed with the planet, to be at a vibrational level where everyone moved into the fifth dimension together. So wow, I love that. So hopefully that tells you there. I feel like you lived a long time, because I feel like you were an elder in this new spirituality, um, and I do believe it just feels like you were these individuals, because I feel like there was multiple different types of. I mean, I'm like they're showing me the island of Dr. Moreau, uh, in our lifetime, where they combine different species together, and then souls were coming down in, but it was higher souls that were choosing to lower their vibration into the fourth dimension so they could help everyone go to the fifth dimension. So I feel like there was a wide variety of different species that were combined. Your fortune cookie, yeah, the cycles of the moon. This card invites you to attune yourself with the rhythms of the moon. Notice how the phases of the moon affect your energy and learn to use these energetic shifts within you to enhance your capacity to be consciously co-creative in all aspects of your life. I feel like that's the kind of energy we're talking about. Like, you could help humans learn about the cycles of the moon as you connect with the moon to, again, that emotional energy that we talked about, to help teach other humans how to use, to like connect and contain that emotional energy of the moon as it goes through all its cycles. I know I'm studying the moon right now, and it's amazing energy, especially since we're made of so much water. Every human is impacted by the moon and its energy. So, if that's something that resonates for you, I feel like you can become a moon expert. All right. So, that's what they have for you there. Sorry, I wasn't paying attention down here. Yeah, Lyrian, right? Humanoid feline people. I would say, more along those lines, definitely. It's that type of that's kind of what I was seeing in the back of my head was the Lyrian, but I don't feel like you were a Lyrian itself. I just feel like it was a combination of the humanoids on their planet with other species, and they had a feline-like species that they put together, but kind of like that, is a good starting point, but there's more to it than that. I feel like the humanoid version, I felt like they were like a really tall and skinny people, but when they combined with the feline, you were like a strong, um, and even larger than the regular tall, skinny. Even they feel like they had bluish skin. Um, so if that resonates. But I love that. I love that for you. I love that you're searching and wanting to find out more um about about that. Yeah, like an avatar. Not that not that blue. More of like a light blue. It's more of I don't know, it feels like just a light, it's like pale, like a pale blue, but not like a that blue. So, but you're getting the picture of the kind of the combination between them. Yeah, absolutely. Hopefully that helps. Maybe you'll dream of some of your lifetime there. All right. So many blessings. Thank you again for your donation. Greatly appreciate that. All right, and then Brenda Tejada, you are up next. So let me grab this really quick here. Throw that in here. So Brenda, thank you for your donation. And you want to know about love, dates, and such for tonight and tomorrow. All right, let's take a look here. See what they have here. Take another quick sip here. All right. All right, there we go. So, love and dates and the such for tonight and tomorrow. All right. Yeah, we have the bottom of the deck. We've got the King of Wands. You also have the Two of Wands here. And very interesting energies because both of these fiery type energies are about your energy and what you're focusing on, right? Whatever you focus on is what you draw towards you. And we'll take a look here and see what all this is about. Here, I feel like this is for tonight and these are for tomorrow. But it is an energy here when we're talking about love and dates. It's, you know, managing your energy. The King of Wands is like they clear the throne room, they tell everyone to leave, and then they sit there and they decide, what is it that I want? And then they put a plan together and put energy behind it. And the Two of Wands is this choice of what roads do we want to do? Do we want to continue to do what we've always did and get what we've always gotten, or take another route, right? And I feel like this is a reminder just of when searching for love, we approach it in two ways. One, like trying to fill a position in our life where we're putting out an application, we're taking interviews, doing background checks, and we're realizing that kind of energy is lower vibration. And when people end up lying on their resumes and on their applications, we end up replacing them because of the intention of trying to find someone to fill a spot is lower vibrational, and that's what we get. The other door, number two, the other portal that you can step into here is going and living your passion, living what you love to do. And when you do that, that's when you bump into someone who's also living their passion, doing something they love, which happens to be the same thing you love. There's this spark, and then it grows into a relationship. So the intention isn't to be in a relationship. The intention is to live your passion and follow your heart and go do things that you love to do. And then in doing that, you're not looking for love, and that's when you bump into each other. The other is like we keep drawing in lower vibrational people that match that, and that's not what you're looking for. It ends up right. So if we ask ourselves, and this is good for all of us to ask ourselves when we're looking for love, if I'm looking for love, why do I keep on choosing these same people? Why do I keep drawing these same people to me? Well, that's our answer, right? It's like, oh, because when I'm trying to find love, I'm in lack energy. I feel like I don't have love and I need love. So it's a have not energy, which draws in energy that matches that. It pushes away the love we're really looking for, and it draws in something we're not looking for. Whereas the other is we're grateful, we're living life, we're living trusting that the creator is going to bring us the perfect person in the perfect time in the perfect way. In the meantime, I'm loving myself and I'm doing things that I love, right? So that's the energy on the bottom there. Let's see for tonight around love and dates. What do they want you to know here? So we've got the Page of Coins, which is about looking at our worth in relationship to the outside world in a different way. Yeah, we have the Two of Swords, the battle between the head and the heart. That would be the head and the heart, right? The head, it's taking applications, that lower vibrational energy. It's funny, that's the Libra moon, which is tomorrow. The Three of Swords, yeah. Expectations equal disappointment. And the Four of Swords, which is all about the peace of mind. So two, three, four. There's this progression in communication here, but all the things that we have. And so when we're doing that search, when we're looking for love and we're looking for dates and looking, because dates are interviews, right? At least until we, because it becomes hanging out. Like when we bump into someone, we weren't on a date, we were doing something, we're in a date with ourselves, doing something we love. And then this person, we bump into them, they're sparks, and then we're hanging out, having a blast doing what we love. Like an example would be like, I want to try a painting class, and the person next to us is also there trying to paint, and we're going, oh my god, what are you doing? And you're laughing at each other stuff that you're doing, and you're just having a great time. And then you're like, well, you're gonna come back next week? Yeah, well, I'll see you then. And then you guys come back, and then you sit next to each other and you laugh, you have a great time and everything. And then you're like, hey, you want to grab a cup of coffee? Yeah, let's go chat. And you guys are just like, blah, 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 blah. And you guys can feel the spark that's forming. That's the kind of different energy that happens instead of the other. The other feels like expectations, all the stuff that we are expecting someone to be, and then it's not happening. There's a lot of disappointment. We're focusing on what's not happening, what's not happening, what's not happening. Well, this two, three, four of swords is about these interactions that you're having through these lower vibrational experiences. They're showing us our fears. They're mirroring back to us what we want to see about ourselves, and they're allowing us to see these expectations equal disappointment. Expectations are those small t truths rooted in fear, right? We're all taught, well, you know, This is how we're supposed to find love, and this is who they're supposed to be, and how they're supposed to be in the relationship, and what a relationship is supposed to bring to me, and who I'm supposed to be in the relationship. A lot of supposed tos, a lot of rules, a lot of just sucks the life out of us, right? Well, that's the energy that they're talking about with all that there. And that's tonight. But this page of coins is great because it's allowing you to see your worth differently and going, no, I don't need to entertain all this stuff. What I want to do is, use my time to look for things I would love to do out in the world and go not with the intention of I'm going to go meet somebody there. It's like I'm going to trust the creator that they're going to be my matchmaker and I'm going to go do the things I love. And when I'm doing that and I'm letting my joy and my heart lead my way, that's where I'll meet someone, right? For tomorrow, Queen of Cups and the Two of Cups. Yeah. So that's the relationship card. But this Queen of Cups is a lot of energy like the High Priestess. It's like developing the relationship with yourself and other important relationships in your life. So spending, with your children, with best friends, with family, whoever is important relationships to you in your life, you invest energy in that and you're doing things you love with them. And in doing that stuff, that's where you meet them. And this is about that energy that comes in here. Because you even have the Two of Cups is Venus and Cancer, which is Mother Moon. But so this Queen of Cups is that it's about really bringing this energy of coming back to you, allowing yourself to fill up, and even that Two of Cups is the relationship you have with your higher self too. You have the Ace of Coins. There's also new opportunities. Yeah, with this feelings of lack and the fear of abandonment. I like this transformation because we do move from a place of lack, like disappointment. Things are falling short. We feel less than, we feel abandoned, we feel like not enough or that we don't have enough. This Ace of Coins, along with this Page of Coins, both of these represent like looking at your worth in relationship to the outside world in a different way. You're not needing to be someone that's desirable and because I want to be with someone. It's like, you know what? I'm the gift I've been looking for. I'm the relationship I've been looking for. Because it's true. With that Two of Cups, too, it tells us that every relationship in the outside world is a reflection of the relationship we have with ourself. And so, as our relationship with ourself, our higher self grows, then that changes the relationships of the outside world, too. So, I feel like that with that Two of Wands, we can still keep choosing dating sites, whatever, talking to people, you know, taking applications for a position, but it's like that's work. And it's more about play, going and playing and enjoying your life. When you're out doing those things that you love, then that's when you bump into someone. So hopefully that makes sense. Let's see what your fortune cookie says here. Hmm. All right, so here it is. Always check in here. All right. Yeah. So it says take action now. Look at that beautiful lotus. Says this is a clear and unequivocal message that action on your part is needed now. Capital N, capital O, capital W. Manifestation is not simply a process of visioning in and dreaming about your desires. When an opportunity is offered to you, you must also take action. Pay attention to the signs and move forward fearlessly. That's what I feel like it's important now to take action. Leave the old way of approaching it behind and go out and do things. And I feel like they're saying take action now because it's designed, you have the earliest we can meet people and the latest we can meet someone. And I feel like the time is now. They're like, now is the time. You have an opportunity if you act on that energy that you can meet someone by doing the things that you love. But it's about taking that action and changing that kind of cycle that we're in. So hopefully that helps, Brenda. That's what they have for you. So many blessings. You're very welcome. All right. Let me see where we're at here. look at some timestamps here. All right. Yep. So we do have up next, we've got Yadi Colon. Let me put that in here. So 1:19. I think it was around 1:19, around there. Whoops. Didn't put a space in there. All right. That should work. All right. Oh. User error. All right. Here we go. There we go. So, Yadi, thank you so much for your donation via CashApp. All right. And let's find your question here. And if you haven't popped your question yet, make sure to put that down in the chat here. Let me see. I don't think it was in the, no, it wasn't in the Cash App there. So let's take a look here. All right. Thank you, Tavi. I do see your Cash App just came through as well. So thank you for that. Let's see. All right. Don't think, am I missing it? Maybe it's further up here. Put sent. Oh, there it is. Oh, I'll be sure. There you go. Ah, there it is. Okay, sorry. And yeah, thank you for your comment on the shirt too. So I am well. I hope you're doing well. You're going through an interviewing process. You're very excited. Will you get the job with Hospice of Virginia? Ooh, all right. Let's take a look here based on current energies. All right. All right. Boom, boom. All right. What else? Don't want those. Do you want this one? This one. This one, and this one's peeking out too. Okay. All right. Let's see what we've got going on here, Yadi. Yay, hey. All right. Well, the bottom of the deck, I like how it starts off for sure. The Nine of Cups. This is like a dream come true energy. And Jupiter ruling over that, of course. So I do love that. It's like a dream come true. So if this is truly your dream come true kind of job and what you're wanting for, I do feel like there's great outcome waiting for you on here. And you're like, is that enough? No, there's more cards. We'll take a look here. Now, I do see here with the Six of Swords and the Tower card coming in here. I know that can look scary. But this is the Six of Swords is about movement. It's about letting go of some old ways of thinking of things and looking at new ways of thinking things. And the Tower card is a card of suddenness. It is a card of things being removed out of our life on purpose for a purpose to make, room for the things that are truly our heart's desire and clearing the path going forward. So, and we'll look and see what these other cards mean here. So if there is something that you're wanting even more, then I could see like this position, you wouldn't get it because it opens up the opportunity for something bigger. Or it could be like if they're like, well, we'd like to offer you a position in this instead of what you were applying for. They see your experience and they offer you something else. That could also be this kind of energy. And the tower also happens fast, fast, fast. So I feel like something, or more so, it comes out of nowhere, kind of energy. Your first round on Monday, yeah. So I like this. Let's see what else we have here too. Yeah, we've got the Hermit card and the Hierophant too. Both of these cards offer this energy of seeing things from a higher perspective, bringing in some truths. And I like this very, uh, it's ethereal energy. It's almost just you can trust that if this is what is meant for me, it won't pass me by. And if it does pass me by, that I'm going to be fine because there's something more in alignment with my higher path and where I want to go that is going to be available coming toward me. There's like this trusting energy, which I feel like that helps in an interview, you know. I know the interviews that I loved the best that I've ever had in my life were the ones where I was happy where I was at, and I'd be happy if I got the position, I'd be happy if I didn't, knowing that, you know, if this is what's next for me, then it'll open up. And you go in and you have a conversation and it's not like, "Oh, I hope I don't mess up. I hope I don't answer wrong." You know, it's like a different energy when you go in with that. And that's that kind of energy I feel is important to go in with this because it's like trusting that, yeah, what is meant for me doesn't pass me by. I'm going to do my due diligence. I'm not just going to go, oh, whatever. You know, I'm going to study my questions, get a good sleep, meditate, listen to calming music, do my breath work, whatever it is that brings you, you know, into some um, calmness before it, you know, just always helps, right? Yeah. Because you have the Page of Coins, which is a new opportunity opening up in the outside world. That's very positive. Yeah, and here again, I love how like I read the bottom of the deck with energy and then how it's reiterated again. Because you have the star card here, which the star card is an energy of it's like the Nine of Cups, dreams come true energy. The Ten of Swords is about letting go of expectations, right? Letting go of the supposed to be, the should be, the need to be, the have to be, the must be's, and just go with the flow, knowing that when you have your highest dream, not your mind's dream that it thinks it's supposed to have, but your heart's dream, when you have that, that's what that 10 of swords is. Those small t truths, all those supposed to be and should be and need to be and have to be and must be and blah, blah, blah. When we let go of that, that allows us to flow and allows us to connect in to this higher vibration. So I love that. And then, yeah, underneath it's the Ace of Swords. So there's a lot of clarity that comes in here for you, letting go. This the Ace of Swords again is seeing things from a higher perspective. Trusting is a big word. Trusting that what is meant for me will not pass me by and that I can trust the creator. And when I release and surrender that to them and going, all right, I'm going to go in. I feel like this is where my heart's leading me. I'm going to do my best. And then if it, um, you know, unfolds, then boom, right? But if it doesn't, which I know I'm saying that like a lot, but I feel like it's not that it's destined to not unfold, but it's being in that mindset going, you know what? I'm just going to trust. And then I can just be myself and be in a place of peace rather than freaking out, you know, how we can all freak out during interviews, beads of sweat, and, you know, because we're in fight or flight mode and our mouth is all dry and we're, you know, hyperventilating, feeling like we're going to throw up on the interviewer. It's a different energy when we go in it with a trust, right? So I like that for you. What else do we have here? Yeah, again, this is like the calling, trusting that your higher self is calling you to that which is in alignment with your dream, right? Yeah, and getting out of your head with the devil card. This is that this energy of, you know, again, all those 10 of swords, questioning all the supposed to be's and should be's and releasing those and having this freedom, getting your mind and your heart out of a cage, allowing you to go forward. So I like this for you because I feel like they're saying that, you know, all this dream come true. What is your dream come true? Do you know what your dream come true is? What your heart wants versus what your mind wants? And definitely take some time to look at that because I feel like when you go in trusting that I don't, um, I don't have to force anything in my life. When I follow my heart, it won't lead me in the wrong direction. And again, you can trust that what is meant for you will never pass you by. They just keep on repeating that over and over because it's such an important thing to really grasp onto. What is meant for you will never pass you by. And it's always for your highest, right? So let's take a look here. And like this is the one for you here. Do you have release negative habits? Master number 44. And it says, we all form habits and patterns in our lives, whether in thought or in action. But like a pair of comfortable old slippers, there comes a time when they outgrow their value to us and we must let them go. Do something different today that shakes you out of your usual ways of responding and have fun doing so. So I feel like that's that energy. Go in, I know, have fun on the interview. Make it a fun thing. We're afraid, right? When we're basing like our life and our definition on I got to have this, when we are going, you know what, I trust, and I'm going to go in, I'm going to be myself, I'm going to have fun, I'm going to enjoy the interview, the process, and if I get it, I get it, yay. If I don't, then I know, well, there's something more in alignment for me. But we can enjoy the whole process, so I like that for you. So hopefully that helps there, Yadi. That's what they have. So thank you again for your donation. I greatly appreciate that. And have a blast. Interviews. Yay. I know. All right. So that is what they have for you. So many blessings to you. All right. And then up next, we got Nelly Maderos. Nelia, thank you. It looks like you have two here. Let me just get the timestamp here, right? There it goes. All right. And I don't think we have. So we'll have two for Nelia. And then Moonlight. Looks like we have two for you. And then Tavi will be up after that. All right. So Nelia, thank you so much for your dual donations. Your first question here with the cool shades. So a general on Helton. All right. Is he genuine and being truthful with you? All right. Let's find that out first. Genuine and truthful. What's going on below the surface there? All right. And then how does he feel about you? Uh-oh. And what are his intentions? Okay. Thank you. Cards flying out. Whoa. And then anything else Spirit wants to say? Like that there. All right. Let's take a look here. Let me just grab this one down here. All right. All right. Let's take a sip of coffee here, Nelia. So, energy on the bottom of the deck, just the energy around Helton, is the Five of Coins, which is it is that lack energy, feeling like, well, fearing being left behind, being abandoned, not being enough kind of energy. So there's some of that. We'll get and find out whose energy that is, if that's your energy, their energy, or both of your guys' energy. But it does feel like there's some lack energy bellowing below the surface. So first of all, is he being genuine and truthful? Let's look at genuine here. So we got the Five of Cups and the Two of Swords. Well, they do have a bit of conflict between their head and their heart here. And the Five of Cups does talk about emotional conflict that's going on within them. Let's see what's going on below the surface here, because this doesn't feel like they're being dishonest. It just feels like they're conflicted on the inside. Like their head wants one thing, their heart wants another. It'd be like an energy if someone has the best intentions and they'll share it, but whether they're able to follow through with it might be more of the issue. We'll see what these were wanted to come out below it to give us the skinny on here. So we've got Aquarius energy with the star. We've got the Four of Wands energy, which is this very stabilizing energy underneath the surface. Let's see what else. The Tree of Life, This is a unique card to this deck. And the Four of Coins, the Four of Pentacles. So we got all these two fours, which are stabilizing energy. The Aquarian energy is about balancing chakras. And the Tree of Life is about a pathway that's, unfolding here. So this all tells me this energy below the surface is that this is part of your path, these interactions with them. And it brings you a lot of clarity around your path too. But there is this conflict in the beginning. I This energy would basically tell me, like, to share with you that don't don't fall for who someone could be. Really look at who they're showing you that they are right now, and try to really have that clarity. I used to fall for people because I could sense their possibility of who they could be, but they didn't want to be that. At least at the point in my life when we met. So it's important to know. How does he feel about you? Well, they do have this 10 of cups. There is this emotional joy and energy, and that is one of my relationship cards. So I feel like they do see that. And the 3 of cups, though, the intentions here, this is where it gets a little cautious because the 3 of cups is a third person, third party kind of situation where right now there could be another person that they're involved with, meaning there could be an ex that they're leaving, that they haven't quite left yet. There's still this connection, and I feel like their intentions are on hold because of that. We'll find out what's more here too. We've got these other cards. Let's see if we can get some more tea, some more deets on here, right? Anything else Spirit wants you to know? So these two cards, we got the Faith card, which is the Hierophant, about capital T truths, seeing things from a higher perspective, and the Five of Wands. These five energies, with the Hierophant is number 5, the major arcana 5. There is this conflicting energy that's here. So that conflict is there, and I can see now, with all this energy, we'll look at these two cards, which are the below energy on the conflict, but it does feel like they're torn between leaving a situation to go into a new situation, right? Yeah, they got all these fears here on the bottom, the 9 of Swords and the 9 of Cups. So both of these nines, this fear of being alone, energy that's here, and that makes sense now. Clarifies us with that five, another 5 on the bottom of the deck, right? The 5 of Coins, that they have this fear of being abandoned, being alone. These nines, this fear of not being with someone. Um, so it does feel like what I would call a serial monogamist. Like they don't like they're not with two people at the same time, but they jump from one relationship into another one without doing the inner work. And so when we do that, we keep doing the same things and ending up with the same results, right? So I feel like there's this energy that's here that they're trying to fill up their heart. Um, and there's a difference in that energy, right? Where someone's not choosing me because, wow, I've been single for 10 years looking for someone that was worthy for me to come out of, being alone and get in a relationship with someone. And you, wow, instead of like, my old dog died and I need a new puppy. Hey, you'll do, it's that kind of energy. Not that you'll do, but it's like, um, that kind of replacement energy that I'm feeling. And that's not, and this is all subconscious, right? So that's why I feel like they feel like they're true and they have those intentions, but I feel like, I don't know. Yeah. What was the card we talked about? 5 of Pentacles. Here's the lack card on the bottom. Let's see what this brings in. Card 29. Leading a spiritual life does not mean living in lack. This card asks you to release any underlying beliefs that you may hold regarding entitlement and worthiness that may be blocking your ability to receive. When you have an abundance of wealth, both inner and outer, you'll have an abundance to give and to share with others. Here's that wish, the dandelion that we blow on to make a wish. At least here in the United States, we do that. Um, so hopefully that gives you the information that you were looking for with that, Nelia. You're like, "Psh, bye bye." So, all right. Boom, boom, boom. All right. So, Nelia, your second donation, thank you for that. And your happy, smiley sticker. You want to know anyone or anything coming your way and anything you need to know or anything Spirit wants to say. All right. Let's take a look here and see what they want you to know right now. This one and this one and this one. And these underneath those. Okay. What do we have coming in here? Oh no. Just kidding. Whenever I get a slow card to start off, I know our humans just love patience, right? The slow mo. But whenever we get a slow card, like the Knight of Pentacles, the slowest moving knight out of all of the knights, things go slow for us so that we don't draw in a lot of the lower vibrational things. It gives us the time to raise our vibration and then speed things up, whether it is in situations or relationships with people or whatever it may be. It is this slowness that's coming in here. So I feel like if you feel like there's certain things in your life that are just taking forever, then just know that it's on purpose for a purpose. That's the underlying energy with that. Let's see, is it anyone or anything that's coming in for you here? Well, I think it's someone. You have the Knight of Wands, and I feel like there's this set and then there's this set. So this one card coming in, Knight of Wands, that is someone that's, very motivated by pleasure and touch and energetic attraction, physical attraction. As I say, it's like a little chihuahua dog going around humping people's legs. That's the way they express themselves. So just be aware. I feel like this is someone that's flying by into your life and you can dodge them, you know, to duck out of the way and they go flying by. Let's see what the underlying energy. What are you to learn with this? Yeah. Well, maybe that's the person. You got the star card here. That's what you got in the last reading. So maybe that is them. Hilton, maybe. I don't know. But this is this. Um, let's see what the other card here. Yeah, the Queen of Cups. So I like this underlying energy because the Queen of Cups is very emotional. She's very in tune with her emotions because she rolls over cups and gets a second portion of cups too, right? So very intuitive, very aware of her emotions, but it's like what's my dream come true for my heart? Now I want more than just physical. Even that's the way a lot of relationships start off with a spark of attraction. You know pretty fast someone's intentions. You intuitively pick up on it with this energy. And you know what you want and what you don't want, and you don't need to settle. Even though with that Knight of Pentacles, it feels like this is taking forever. Maybe I should just take whatever comes next. It's like, nope, it's going to be worth it. So just be aware of that. Let's see what these other cards are. So you got this card here. You have the Four of Cups, which is this. Here's the other type of relationships before those Three of Cups. But they're bringing you this higher vibrational love into your life, right? When? I know. Yeah, Page of Cups. Higher love, higher love. What's the third card? More love? Yeah, the Two of Cups. So there is a relationship that what you're looking for, that is coming towards you, but um, it's just slow in coming because you are also raising your love vibration so that you guys will match. They're raising their love vibration, you're raising your love vibration. In the meantime, anyone that is coming in, you'll immediately know, you know, this the difference in the energy that comes in because it's just gonna feel like the same old, oh, that love, right? Not this wow kind of love that will be coming in. Let's see what else they have here for you with these four cards. So, yeah, you have the Six of Coins, someone that's equal giving and receiving here. I like all this energy because you've got the moon in Cancer, you've got the Venus in Cancer, you've got the moon in Taurus, which is ruled by Venus. So all this Venus moon energy coming in here with Cancer sign. Interesting. Yeah, Palace of Cups. Somewhere you will feel safe, giving and receiving and communicating your love with the Palace of Cups. You got the Four of Coins, this energy that feels like home, that's here, and the Ace of Coins. Yeah, someone brand new. Ace of Coins is someone that you don't know. So there is someone that's coming here that will be, like a dream come true energy, but it's like don't settle and don't give up hope. Just know that things that are happening slowly are happening on purpose. Even on the bottom of the deck, you have the Eight of Coins, Eight of Pentacles, which is, you know, transformational energy. Caterpillar going into the cocoon takes time. We can't rush the cocoon because otherwise you'll never be able to fly. Because if we ever cut out a butterfly out of the chrysalis before they've had a chance to struggle to get out of the cocoon, then their wing muscles will never work and they'll end up dying because they can't fly. So it's an important energy with all that. Hopefully that helps bring a little bit of spark of hope, knowing that it's worth the wait. It's worth the wait. It's worth the wait. There's no place like home. There's no place like home, right? Let's see what else you have here. Yeah. So you have compromise with number 8 here. Are you in a situation where you need to make a compromise or are you compromising too much? Feel like that first card is like, yeah, I started to compromise too much. With like, well, I guess I could let that go. I could let that go. I could let that go. It's like, nope. This card asks you to review your position and to be sure to find a solution that takes the needs of all parties into account, including yourself, right? I love that. All right. So that's what they have for you, Nelia. So many, many blessings to you. All right. All right. The Moonlight 5, you are up next. And we've got 2 donations for you. So let me grab this and put that in the chat here. All right. So thank you for your dual donations. And we've got game over. Uh-oh, what's this about? All right. You're feeling kind of worn out, right? Wondering if there's something or someone putting forks in your road or sending you bad energy. All right. Let's take a look here. We got a lot of astrological energy going on. Um, so I definitely can understand feeling worn out. Um, especially we have a full moon in Libra tomorrow, right? Oh no, buckle up, Buttercup. Let me take a sip here. But all this eclipse energy that we're in, all these planets that are going into Aries or going from Aries to Pisces, and we just have all this energy. This is the year of huge transformation. We've got so many I mean, every planet has changing signs, right? We, the our inner planets, Mercury, Venus, and Mars, all of those are they all change planets anyway every year. But when we get into Jupiter and Saturn and what's after that? Jupiter, Saturn, and Uranus and Neptune and Pluto, whatever those outer planets, it takes them a while, like every 7 years, every 14 years, every 20 to 30 years, but they're all changing, every single planet. Well, Pluto kind of changed in November. That's close enough. So within a year, like from November to November, every planet is changing to a new sign, which is so reflective, so much energy, and humanity is just being expanded anyway. Um, so our physical bodies are being stretched, our mental bodies are being stretched, our emotional bodies. So I'm sure we could all relate. We're probably all exhausted, but it's all for us. And so, rest, give yourself self care for sure. Um, and we'll take a look here and see, what else do they want you to be aware of here with your energy. Okay, and they do want these here too. You know, the question about, is someone sending me bad energy? To clarify that, so, like as far as like a curse or someone bad energy, someone trying to make me feel bad, blah blah blah. No one has that power over us, right? Um, Someone can tell me, I'm giving you bad energy. You're gonna get sick. And if I believe that, I'm oh my God, I'm gonna get sick. I'm gonna get sick. My energy is what makes me get sick. And then I'm like, oh my God, it worked because they convinced me to believe I would get sick. But it's my belief that brought on the sickness. If I'm like, screw you, whatever, in the most loving way. um, no, nothing will happen to me because I'm not giving it that energy, right? I send them love, right? Now, if we're surrounded by people that have negative energy, lower vibrational energy, or we're watching things that are lower vibrational, listening to things that are lower vibrational, smelling things, tasting things we hate and don't like, touching things we don't like, that that lower vibrational energy, that will make it more difficult for us, right, to choose higher vibration. So we'll be focusing on low vibration, which then does impact us, right? But we have the power to change that, right? I can control what I'm bringing into my eyes and my ears, my nose and my mouth and my touch, all my senses that are my, energetic bodies taking in. And I can, if it's people that have low vibration, I can try to, as much as I can, control the environment around me and go, doesn't mean I have to like totally kick someone out of my life and not spend any time with them, but I can limit my contact with people that are lower vibration. And um, that allows me to more easily choose and to grow my habit of choosing higher vibration. So some of those things can help out there. Let's see what else we have here. Yeah, we got on the bottom of the deck. You have the Page of Coins. And the Page of Coins, Page of Pentacles is about seeing your worth in relationship to the outside world in a different way. And there's a new opportunity to express your self worth. And underneath that, there is the Nine of Swords, which represents nightmares and insomnia. So there's a lot of stuff being worked out in your dream world. I know I've been dreaming like I dream a lot anyway, just because of my water and my moon sign is a Pisces water sign. So I'm already in the dream world. But lately, this year has just been like, holy crap, I hear everyone talking about how much we're dreaming, and it's like I'm working a full-time job in my sleep. I wake up and I'm like, wow, So there is that, awareness here as well with all of that energy. But let's take a look here. That was the bottom of the deck. What else is impacting your energy? Yeah. Look at this. Moon in Sagittarius. Nine of Wands. So there is a lot of fire, emotional fire that's happening here. And it does feel like there might be an energetic block, which just it's bringing attention to you on the inside going, what if my chakras, what if my energetic meridians or my energetic aura, if you, well, of course you have um, your practices about how you can um, purge or cleanse. That's the word I was looking for. Well, you can purge your energy, cleanse your energy, whether it's in a shower or a bath, just, bringing that, let this water wash over me and cleanse out my auric field, let it remove and lower vibrational energy. Doing the singing bowl, I love doing that just with myself. Sometimes, I just hit it and let that vibration just cleared up. The Tibetans believed that, with this, um, that when we have fear or lower vibrational experiences, that it creates like pockets within our energy. And when they hit the singing bowl, isn't that beautiful? That it replaces the and transforms that energy that's there, right? So I love that. Sorry, that was really loud. But I like this cleansing of energy, energetic blocks will help things flow for you as well. Let's see what's underneath that. Yeah, and then the Nine of Cups. The emotional dreams come true, the Jupiter energy, the expansion energy. And that does tell me here too, with the wands energy, with all of this, that there is this energetic upgrade that you're going through, and that can exhaust us physically because our bodies are preparing for more and more energy. So I do have that energy here. It's funny, your cards came out like an I and an E, which is like an example of, right? When you do IE example, and I feel like you're experiencing a lot of inner growth and you're seeing a lot of reflection in the outer world too. Let's see what this E is. Yeah, Two of Coins. So this is about, here's that Jupiter balancing energy in the outer world. You got the Queen of Cups. Yeah, that empathic ability, right? Picking up a lot of people's emotions. And the Seven of Swords. Yeah. So there is, here's all this moon energy, moon in Aquarius too, moon in Sag, moon in Aquarius. Um, but this is becoming aware of any thoughts and beliefs and mindsets that have stolen um, energy here. But I feel like there's this moon energy, which, of course, moonlight being your name, you know all about the moon. But I feel like there is this, with this combination of this, balancing your outer world and being aware of who you're around and what you're allowing within your physical realm, because that Queen of Cups shows that your empathic abilities are being expanded. That's part of your upgrade and downloads that you're getting, is you're able to pick up more and more and more on what people's energies are, which kind of reinforcing the bubble you have around you that keeps other people's emotional energy out there, can still be aware of it but not allowing it to, stick on you and absorb into you, right? And because I feel like you've done a lot of your shadow work where, your inner child might stick up its head here and there when it senses someone else's emotion. It activates within us, right? And we're like, oh, our little inner child is, me too, I feel that. And you're like, oh, so you feel that, and then you feel it inside you too, which then also can ignite your own emotions. And then that can be exhausting, emotionally exhausting, I feel, where a lot of this is coming from astrological energy, but emotional energy that's more so people around you that are, they're not draining you, you are draining yourself, because their energy creates so much um flow within you that it is emotionally exhausting. especially your huge heart on wanting to, you know, nurture and help people. It's naturally to, we give so much energy away that we're like, oh God, I shouldn't have given. It's like giving five bags of blood instead of just one. And I'm like, why do I feel so weak? Oh, because we were giving so much of our emotional blood away, right? Let's see what else we have here. You got synchronicity here with card 51, and it says, are seemingly random coincidences showing up in your life? This card asks you to listen to the signs and take them seriously. You are tuning in to the universal energy of a greater collective consciousness, and these synchronicities are arriving in your world to guide you. Listen. So yeah, that's all that energy that you're getting from a lot of other places, right? So I definitely I definitely get that too. All right. So hopefully that helps for number 1 there. And then for number 2, Moonlight, you want to know, is your son feeling better these days? Hanging out with M. All right. So let's take a look here. Is your son feeling better these days? Okay, grab those. And then specifically about hanging out with them. All right. So we do have the Knight of Cups and the Ace of Cups under that. So I like this, you know, movement of emotion, which says that they did have an emotional change. And I like the Ace of Cups underneath it because that is the happy card. It's a happiness card. So I do feel like they have had a change in how much happiness that they were experiencing. Let's see here. These two cards are specifically about that. Yeah, we got the Three of Coins. Being more true to their authentic self, not worrying so much about what people will think or that they'll let someone down or that they'll lose someone's support. And the Ten of Wands. Yeah, they really had this change here of energy. They were investing a lot of energy in trying to please other people and I feel like there's been a huge switch with this 10 of wands because it's an ending of burden and the beginning, like an ace. So there's this ace energy, this ending and beginning energy that comes in here. So I do like that. It's like their passions have changed. Their energy focus has changed as well. Let's see about M here. Yeah, another ace. So definitely has brought some good clarity into their life here. Hanging out with them. Yeah, the full card. Again, another this would be like the king of all the aces, right? The full card is a brand new adventure, free of a lot of expectations. Um, looking at like the world full of possibilities. So this is very positive. Oh, even a Palace of Swords. Palaces are unique to this deck, and this represents like a safe space to be able to communicate and be themselves and share their thoughts and to grow too. So, what a beautiful energies. M feels like very, oh my gosh, yeah, 10 of Cups, joy overflowing. Yeah, so I would say that M has brought very positive changes into their life here. And I feel like dare I say, they might even just feel like very full of joy, which is like, whoa, where did that come from? But I feel like they definitely feel a lot better by all this here. Let's see what the fortune cookie is for this one, too. Where are we at on time here? Okay, this is yours here. Yeah, look. Restore balance, card 46. What a perfect card. So this card calls you to notice what kind of situations, people, and circumstances threw you off balance. So I like this that they did that. They restored their balance. That's the 10 of Wands going from burden to this new beginning. And more importantly, what enables you to regain balance and recenter yourself? Noticing heightens your awareness and creates an opportunity for you to become proactive in maintaining your ongoing balance and inner harmony. So it's perfect for them. They have regained this rebalancing that's come in here. So I like it. So that's what they have for you, Moonlight. Sounds very good for them. All right, let's take a look here at timestamps. Okay. Whoa, stop that. There we go. Sorry, I don't mean to be so quiet. All right, Tavi T, you are up next here. Thank you for your donation via Zcash app. Throw that down into the chat down here. All right. So, Tavi T, let me find your question here. There it goes. So, how does your child's father feel about us not talking in a year? Okay, let's take a look here. Not those. I think I got those. These down here. Okay, and this one here. All right, let's see what we got going on here. Well, the bottom of the deck. Oh yeah. So we've got the Queen of Wands here. Very fiery, divine feminine. We even have underneath that the Lover's card and the Queen of Coins. That's under here. So we've got all this very distracted by this nurturing, fiery relationship with someone, it looks like here. So if you didn't know that, I'm sorry that you had to hear it from this way, but it does feel like there's a big distraction there in their life. And that's the underlying energy that's here. But let's see how they specifically feel about you. And you said your child, right? Well, yeah, your child's father. So we have the Queen of Swords, which is a balance of energy between head and heart. And that was leading to this one, the Knight of Coins, the Knight of Pentacles. And it says a good reflection, because they're reminding me of like when I was talking to my mom, because the Knight of Coins is like the pursuit of our worth. The knight, every knight has a quest. The Knight of Pentacles, the Knight of Coins is for the Ace of Pentacles, which is searching for our worth and looking at a new way of looking at our worth in relationship to the world by finding our worth on the inside, not by the outside world, right? And my mom, she was cheated on when in between my older brother and me, and she carried that pain, I mean, for many, many years, even up to just like 10 years ago. When I went up and I was living near them for a little while back in like 2018, 2019. Um, and so that wasn't that long ago. So all those decades that she carried that pain, and um and I was over at her apartment talking to her, and she was sharing about blah, 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 about something that had happened, and the family was excited to FaceTime him because he lives in Hawaii, and and every time they would bring up his name, she would, you know, the fear and the hurt and the pain would come up, and then she would get angry and resentful, because of course carrying that energy for so long. But it was, I just realized, and I was like, Mom, you do realize that it wasn't you that made him unhappy. And she looked at me like, well, of course it was, and I was like, um, he couldn't be happy because he wasn't happy on the inside. So he was looking for things on the outside to film, like we all do, right? That's how we all as humans are. We're all told, find your worth out here and your happiness. But if we're not happy in here, we're not going to find it out there. And I said, if you were the problem, then wife number two, wife number three, and all the girlfriends in between would have one of those would have made him happy, right? And I loved it because it just was like amazing to see the little light bulb go off, and she was like, and I just could feel her energy release, like she let go of all this responsibility. And I go, and no one can make you happy either, mom. You have to be happy on the inside, and then then anything anyone gives you is above and beyond extra, right? And so I feel like this is important for you to know that their actions have nothing to do with you. Their actions are because they're unhappy on the inside. They were unhappy way before they ever met you, and they haven't found that happiness on the inside, so they keep trying to fulfill it with things in the outside world. And this balancing of the head and heart is so important for us in that journey, right? Let's see what else they have here too. We have the King of Swords. So you got the Queen of Swords and the King of Swords, which are these divine counterparts. And this is what we're looking for is someone who is like our match, right? Someone that we have something really in common with. And I feel like that is more a message for you, and to realize that their energy doesn't match yours, that you try to have your energy match who they were, but you deserve to have someone that is your divine counterpart, not someone that you have to search after and wonder what's going on and try to communicate and this and that, whatever. You deserve to be with someone like yourself that can give to the extent that you can give and love to the extent that you can love, right? And I know our heart wants what it wants, and it thought, well, they were it. No, they weren't that, right? And the Page of Coins does show that, there is this new opportunity, this heightened opportunity that's coming your way. And the Page of Coins is about, it's one of those cards that's about finding your worth in relationship to the outside world in a different way. And that's finding your worth in here and not out there, right? Underneath the surface, yeah, you do. You have the Strength card, which showing your strength, that you have this inner strength, the Leo energy, but that's the tiger is our human, and the maiden is our higher self, and that we're so much more than this human, and that you're so much more stronger than you've ever been taught to believe, right? And the Ace of Wands is a new passion, a new energy for life. And I feel like, you know, they're basically, when we're wanting to know how do they feel about us and doing all this, it's like, well, they're just on this journey trying to fill up and trying to be happy. And I don't feel like they are in a place where they think about a whole lot of any other people. I feel like they are all about my happiness, my happiness. They're like, all they can see is this. And it's not that they don't care. It's just like they just can't see past this unhappiness that they're trying to change in their life. So I feel like that's the big piece of what they're wanting. And I'm sorry, I didn't even scroll down here to see if you're saying anything. Okay. So, and we'll pull a fortune cookie card here for you too. But I just feel like that's the big message, is that you deserve to be with someone like yourself. You deserve a divine counterpart, not a divine counterfeit. Ooh, I've never heard of that one before. You deserve a divine counterpart, not a counterfeit. Wow, that's pretty deep. All right. And then you also have, the internal dialogue, number 27. And it says, we all have an internal dialogue within our mind, a constant stream of inner conversation. Is your dialogue kind, supportive, and affirming towards yourself, right? Or is it a critical and judgmental of both yourself and others? This card asks you to listen to your inner words and, if necessary, take steps to consciously change your language, right? It's like all those affirmations. Louise Hay, queen of affirmations, really just, I like that. I deserve a divine counterpart. I deserve a divine counterpart. That's some good stuff. All right, so that's what they have for you, Tavi. Thank you again for your donation. Hey, Patty, good to see you. Good morning. All right. Let's see here. It's 7:50. I should have time for like one more, and then I will be returning in about 5 minutes or so. I'm going to be headed out to spend some time with my Praying Mantis members, and for about an hour or so. And then I'll be back to finish out all the donations and my YouTube channel members. And depending on my energy, I'll probably end up doing all the free readings too, but I'll put timestamps when I get to that there. Let me take a look here. So let me see here. Let's see, that was that one. All right. All right. I think Lucky, you are up next. Let's take a look here. Let me put your little timestamp here. One. So Lucky's at 155.55. That's what we're gonna put in here. I like all those fives. All right. So thank you so much, Lucky, for your donation via CashApp. And you wanted to know here, you took a spill. Oh my goodness. And your side sorta is sore but not painful. Is there just a bruising of my rib cage? I just realized the spill last week. Okay. Let's take a look here. Of course, the little disclaimer in the description box of the video, I'm not a licensed medical professional. Tarot's for fun. Ultimately, everyone should seek professional medical assistance for anything. And ultimately, everyone makes their own decisions, right? So let's take a look here. What about your sore ribs here? Is it just bruising, or is there more to it? Let's take a look here. On the bottom of the deck, you do have the Fool card and the Wheel of Fortune. So these feel very fortunate cards. This freedom from restriction and everything that happens. I mean, it's a very fortunate energy. Let's see what else we have. Again, we got the Sun card, got this abundance energy. We got the 10 of Cups, which is this beautiful overflowing joy energy. You've got the Ace of Coins, Ace of Pentacles, which is about abundance in the outside world. And you got the 9 of Wands, which is perseverance, Moon in Sagittarius. All that energy seems very positive here. You got 3 Cups, which is joy, and the Ace of Swords, which is clarity, seeing things from a different perspective, and those types of things. I just feel like with this, that's nothing really serious. It wouldn't hurt to just get it looked at with that Ace of Swords, but I feel like ultimately there's all this energy here is positive all over the place. The Ace of Swords is really the only one that made me think, well, getting a second opinion, getting clarity is always good. It'll put your mind at rest. Maybe they'll give you a wrap or something that will help you heal faster. I feel like it's severe bruising, but I don't feel like there's anything like that's fractured or broken. But I feel like they can help you with that. I know. Taking a spill. No more bar fights. We know that's what it was, Lucky. You know, you can't hide it from us. I'm just kidding. All right. So, thank you guys for your patience in getting to all of your readings. Like I said, I shall return in a little bit, about an hour and a half, probably ish. Depends on what we get into in our evening session with the Praying Mantis members. I'm just going to take some screenshots here. And so I shall return, and we'll finish out all the readings here this evening. Don't think I have a ton of the free readings there, so I should be able to get to all of them tonight too. Let me just grab this here. Sorry. Try to do two things at the same time, but you know, I don't do that as well as I used to as a young lad. I guess I should stop saying that. Maybe it'll stop coming true, right? My multitasking abilities are expanding and multiplying. All right. So we got those. Okay. Then we're down here. All right. We did those. Yes. 15555. And I'll post I'll post the timestamps after I'm done here in a moment to this video, so you guys can just click on those to see the ones I complete. I didn't complete any of the free readings. I didn't even complete all the donations. I'm so sorry I didn't get to all those. Let's see, who do we have left here? Just so we have Lydia and Patty. Hey, Patty. And then also, let me grab your question here. And then Maria P, I just got your additional donation via Z PayPal too. So we'll include that one and then all the other readings, but those are the donations that I'm showing here as well. All right, my dears. So again, like I said, thank you for all of your patience in getting to your readings. I'm so grateful for your thirst for hearing from spirit, and I'm grateful that you're on this path with me as well. So I'll be back, like I said, about an hour and a half, and I will post on that video stream. In the beginning, when I start, they'll in the description box of the video, I'll have the order in which the readings will be completed, and then I'll post after that stream as well. Once I'm done with the stream, I'll post everyone's name with the timestamps as a comment and pin it so you can click on that and find your reading too. So I will be back. Until then, remember every second of every day of your lives, you truly are eternally and unconditionally loved by the Mother and the Father of all things, our Creator. Of course, I love you too. And if you want to watch something while you're waiting, if you haven't checked out the Libra full moon, Libra's full moon's tomorrow. There's a video that talks about the Libra full moon and then also a reading in there. So help yourself. It's free. All right, everybody, have fun. And the spirit has been asking us, why are you guys being so serious? Have some play, have some fun. And I'll see you soon. I love you guys much.